Hello, good evening, and welcome by the new weekly recap. The past when of course we just continue the structure which I set up last week, in which I start by recapping on the most important events that happened last week, mentioning the most important lessons I learned there, how the next week will look like, and then something extra if needed. And yeah, to start with the recap on the past week, it has been a hectic 1.5 week, a hectic 10 days since Thursday, where I went to Rodrigo and I was quite open about my intentions. I didn't know what to expect exactly about the event and how that will happen there. And then on Thursday, what happened with the message I received from the girl, in which that was about to end, and then that then the event came in, which was actually really great, which was actually really good, but it was a lot at once, to say so, and thereby I've had some difficulties as I had to make decisions there, purely based on how we'll continue in the business. But after being at home for 6 weeks, I feel like I needed this again, being pushed out of my comfort zone. Yeah, that's actually really good. And I remember I woke up last Thursday as well, as we are, of course, right now recapping on this week, where the first days have been with Rodrigo, the first days of this week till Wednesday, and then on Thursday I hopped on a train to Malaga, here on my own right now. And on Thursday when I woke up, I remembered like I was just ready for a new adventure, and that's how I feel right now as well. Yesterday, Mike and Luke were here. It was a great night actually as well. We had a call with the three of us because of the other boys were not able to attend the emergency meeting, and I had a call yesterday with the girl in which we concluded it completely, which also felt well. And that only gives me like good feelings on how we have been able to end that. So that's all good as well, and I feel happy and somehow proud about that. And then we can move on again, and that's where right now it's just simply above. And by the way, I'm wearing here my hoodie while you think this guy's in Spain in Malaga, but first of all, the sun is barely shining here, so I'm a bit unlucky about that. And I turned on the AC, so that's also part of the reason. But yeah, I overall I feel good. I feel aligned, and yeah, to directly make the bridge towards the two things that I learned. The one and most important one is to look at the bigger picture instead of always thinking like, okay, what I think I mentioned this also in last week's recap, but instead of thinking, okay, what's going wrong, what's not going well yet, etc., think about, okay, how are we moving in general, where are we moving? Sorry, where are we moving towards to? Where was I like a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years ago? And thereby focusing on things that are doing well, and yeah, that also feels really great actually. That then you stop minding and caring that much about the things that don't go well and the small things, and you focus on the bigger picture, and that gives me a lot of faith. Also, since I've set the goal, and last Wednesday I realized that the brand which we set up with my moment, I was really clear there about the goal there, and that gives a lot of clarity. And yeah, that's my biggest lesson, like the bigger picture, the consistency and the leverage. If that compounds, that's where the magic happens, and focus on that instead of like the small wins here and there. And the other one, which I realized in the past couple days, is how important the relationship you have with yourself is. And thereby I mean like you have to love yourself. You have to be proud of yourself. You have to be able to communicate with yourself. You have to be able to trust yourself. I think that's something highly underestimated. How important that relationship in all different kinds is. And I already was able to trust myself. I get to know myself better, and I also try to love myself, and I get proud about myself. If I look back on how I was as a person a couple of years ago and where I am right now, if I could continue that development, I think then I don't know where it ends, honestly. And it gives me a lot of pride. Like, for example, I've always been homesick and difficult to deal with that situations, and right now I'm here in Malaga, like just in March, like, and taking care of myself away from home, be living on the edge of my comfort zone. Yeah, that then genuinely makes me proud, and that's what I have been feeling for the last days. And I think that's really important, that relationship with yourself, and you have to be in love with yourself. Otherwise, others also won't be able to love you. You have to know yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to be proud of yourself. You have to communicate with yourself. I think all of those things are really important, and will be things that I will be focusing on again also in the upcoming weeks. And talking about the upcoming weeks, let's talk about the upcoming week in specific. I will be having my first Spanish lessons tomorrow, and I kind of look forward to it. It's actually a side quest, but I'm taking these lessons, by the way, for two main reasons. The one and most important reason is to, as it fits in the picture well, and the reason why I'm here, I also want to learn to conversate more with other people, be around other people, and that helps also, for example, with conversating here with people on the streets or in a restaurant, which is uncomfortable, as it's not necessarily my personality, as I'm quite introvert, and also it is in another language, which makes it really difficult. And then learning that other language helps me, it gives me a reason to conversate with these people, as I will be learning it even better, and it also gives me the opportunity to conversate with those people because I learned the language. So, and the other point simply was, I think it's a great asset to have to speak Spanish in it as a language. Looking into the future, I think I like the culture here. South America, of course, like it's almost completely Spanish speaking. Just in general, I think speaking Spanish is a great asset to have, and thereby I think at a young age, which I'm currently at, it will be worth the investment of both the time and the money to learn that language. Then it will be an asset which you can possess for all over the years. So that's the reason actually why I'm taking those lessons. But that's one of the things I will be focusing on upcoming week. I will be fixing the last things when it comes to my for example, my scooter was actually stolen yesterday, so I have to fix a new one. Those are some of the things that have to be done, and I'll be getting deeper into the routine which I set up here with like meal prepping, gym consistently, and also the Spanish lessons give me a lot of like routine, especially on the weekdays, and on the weekends I'll be taking off a bit more, and also trying to expand my comfort zone in the weekends especially. And for the business, it will be continuing for my moment on the brand picture, and for the other business, we'll continue the processes as well. But especially my moment has been doing well lately, and I see right now like the goal which we set there is pretty damn clear, and that's 50 million exit in 5 years, in 2030. So actually 6 years, and we have set the steps which we have to take, and we have to go through to get to that level, and yeah, we are in some way ready for it, just for the next step, and then for the next step, and then for the next step, etc., etc. So that's where we'll be focusing on, getting 1% better every day there, and also for me as a person. So there we'll be also focusing on more of my time when it comes to personal development, watching new videos and stuff, etc. And that's how the upcoming week and the upcoming weeks will look like. And I will stay here till the 26th of April. And then I will see what I will be doing. I honestly don't know yet what will happen then. That depends on how the upcoming 5 weeks will be, and what my next alternatives and my plans will be then, what maybe people around me do, how things go. We'll see then. I don't decide anything yet there. And the last thing and the extra thing which I want to mention is that I'm honestly, and then I say honestly, grateful for who I may be, for everything that happens around me, the people I have around me, the person that I am and that I may be again. I'm really grateful for that, and I realized also, that's the lesson which Mike taught me today, how blessed I am in this situation. Young, healthy, positive people around you has all the opportunities to make something of your life, and especially the fact that you're young. The other points I already realized, but the fact that you're young and thereby you can basically do everything you want, and that gives me a lot of gratefulness as well, and looking around what I have also. And it's a combination of that and what I mentioned, that I'm proud of myself. So I should give myself some credits there as well, but also I have to thank everything to the people around me, to the one who has been laying this path for me, and everything that happens in general in my life. I'm looking forward towards the next week, which we will be following concrete and quite strict routines. Not super strict, especially not on the weekends, and we will be making step by step there for the business, and that's how the upcoming weeks will look like. And then I'll for sure, of course, see you in the upcoming week, but I think the upcoming weeks in there will be quite similar, but we will be seeing how that goes. You never know, but I'm ready for this new adventure here in Malaga, and yeah, we'll see how the upcoming weeks will look like, where it will take me, but I'm ready for it. See you guys in the next week. Recap.